Hey, what is up, friends? I want to thank you for stopping by. You got Sturkules here with my NPDL Week 9 match against Prizzleybear, or Prizzley for short. Prizzley is one of the only guys in the league who can call himself an NPDL champ. Only 4 people can say that out of the 20 plus coaches we've had in the league over the years. So it's a really big accomplishment. He's a fantastic battler year after year, one of the most feared coaches in the league. So yeah, really excited to play him. Don't think we've played many times before. Like we've played a few times in Noah's Gen 5 League, the ULP. We've played in a few tournaments and stuff like that. But in MPDL, I really feel like we've only played like a few times before this. And I don't remember them super well, which means I probably lost in a pretty unforgettable fashion. But I was excited for this matchup going in. We played it in the past, obviously. Going in, I was 7-1. He was, I think, 5-3. So both still having a good season. He's got a rain team, which is very scary. He's got Tornadus Therian. He's got Zapdos. He's got Barraskewda and Seismitoad as two multiple rain sweeper options, though Seismitoad can also be defensive. He's got Politoed. He's got Amoonguss. He's got Drampa. He's got Gotharita. Not Gothitelle, but Gotharita, who can still do some scary trapping things. And he's got Matang. That might be the whole squad right there. And as you can see, that's a very scary squad to prep for. So going into this, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to run some really fun sets, just because I didn't feel like with things I was trying to think up that I really had that great of builds. And so I was like, let's just have some fun and give it our best shot and see how well we can do. And I actually ended up coming up with some sets that I liked okay. And going into the game, I'm like, I kind of was expecting to get smashed, but the more I looked at it, I was like, I might actually have a chance here. So just looking at the team I've got Stormbreaker, the Zeraora with Custap Berry, which running 200 speed on a Zeraora and knowing how fast Zeraora is in general, this is going to outspeed everything on his team, being a timid nature. So probably weird sounding to run a Custap Berry, but basically my thought was, late game, if I'm faced off with like a banded Barraskewda or a Life Orb, Swift Swim, Seismitoad, this would have given me an opportunity. If Rain was still up, we would have been outsped by either of them. So if Rain was still up, I could have clicked Endure. And then with Custap Berry, despite being slower, could have hit a Thunder, a Volt Switch, a Grass Knot, depending on what was in front of me. This did get walled by Drampa, but it hit the rest of his team actually really nicely. So as you can see, we got a lot of grass coverage on the team to hit his mini water types, but big time just for Seismitoad, though a lot of these would do a lot to other members of his team as well. So, and then Volt Switch to be able to switch around, especially if you got a Gotharita that can trap things. Danger Kite the Gyarados with an Assault Vest. Intimidate, kind of to help take some damage once again, or to lower Barraskewda's damage once again. If it were to be locked into a water move, we could come in, lower its attack. And we ran a really fun Gyarados set. We ran it as a mixed attacker, which you're not supposed to do that with Gyarados very often, but I've already run it with some special coverage, third time this year. And I actually had Hydro Pump on there. Then I was like, you know what? With its natural attack, Waterfall's still probably going to do more. So, but Hurricane and Thunder wouldn't miss in the rain. They'd hit very hard. They are very inaccurate out of rain, but I just kind of needed some powerful moves, things like Tornadus and Amoonguss, and really Zapdos. They don't like to die. And between reliable recovery and having two regenerator mons, very hard to kill, so I did need to hit hard. With Hurricane being stab, it did hit things pretty hard. Something like an Amoonguss, actually. If we're hitting Hurricanes, should be able to two-shot, which is really nice, though Amoonguss has a lot of ways to just stay alive. But that's just how it goes, facing Regenerator. Speaking of Regenerator, we brought one of our own this week with Aretha, the Eldegoss, making its second appearance. Giga Drain, Sunny Day to switch up the weather. Weather Ball, basically to hit Amoonguss. I I probably should have ran more special attack, but at the same time I wanted a lot of defense because, once again, trying to switch in on a Beartics is kind of just terrifying. And then Leech Seed to help stay alive with Regenerator and Giga Drain. Cabia Berry is the poison reduction berry. So a lot of things could have ran Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, things like that as coverage. But also, like, this made this a pretty good switch into Amoonguss because we can switch into some Spores. And then if it does hit us with a Sludge Bomb, then maybe if we'd gotten Sunny Day up, we could hit it with a Weather Ball, or at least give us a chance to double. All Day Zong, the Bronze Zong, just to give me something bulky that can take some special attacks. With Charge Beam, Future Sight could actually really start doing a lot and forcing some switches. Toxic for just wearing his bulky threats down, though obviously we can't Toxic Amoonguss. And then Stealth Rock, obviously, to get some chip on his team to see if things like Zapdos or Tornadus are heavy-duty boots, or if they're running another item. And for something like Amoonguss, that does put it very much easier in range of other hits. Focus Sash Ursula Major. I considered swapping items on my Nihilego and my Zeraora, and considered running Custat Berry on Nihilego, because I thought if we had a Beast Boost, then he brings in, say, his, what's the name of that thing? Barraskewda, then maybe we could have used Custap there. But my thought was, like, good chance he has Aqua Jet, and while I think that in a lot of situations Zeraora, basically, like, I think Aqua Jet can pretty much just always kill Nihilego, and I'm thinking Zeraora might force him to click another button if it were out of Aqua Jet range. I don't know. I just think Focus Sash was better. Really, actually, there just wasn't an item I loved on Ursula Major, but I liked bringing it because I did feel like Beast Boost was cool. If we got rid of Rain, I feel like its coverage did a lot of work with Power Gem, Thunder, Grass Knot, and Psyshock, hitting a lot of his stuff. So didn't really feel like there was a great item, but I figured, hey, if he doesn't have hazards up, maybe we can live some sort of water move and hit back really hard. So Sash felt like the best thing, and even though I wasn't bringing any removal this week. And then Turt Warner was actually my planned lead, and I kind of wanted to just click Shell Smash. And I was hoping, I kind of had a plan. If he brought, what's its name? Seismitoad. I thought Seismitoad was probably a really good, like, wall type thing into this. So I brought the Power Herb Solar Beam. So turn 1, I click Shell Smash. He brings in his Seismitoad, and then I click Power Herb Solar Beam. That's out of the way. I wasn't really thinking about the fact, like, I knew Rain. I looked it up and found out that Rain did weaken Solar Beam, but I just kind of felt like I still needed to run it because Rain can't be up forever. And maybe if we could get this off beforehand, or... So anyway, yeah. Then Dragon Pulse and Fire Blast. Even though Draco hits things a lot harder, it also does take away the special attack boost. So this may not have been really the best set. I just figured it would be fun to run. And if I were able to get it up at the right point in the game, or even just lead with it and kill something, I thought it would have been worth it. So let's go ahead and just hop into the battle here with Prizzley. Okay, here we go. So we see his team, and really not surprised by who came. The biggest surprise was seeing, Gothorita, though. It's a scary mon with someone like him who can run some scary heat sets. So kind of expected either Seismitoad or Grandpa there, but other than that, not too surprised. This is a Rain team with flying types that can Hurricane, an electric type that can Thunder, water moves that are going to hit hard, and then Amoonguss that is going to take a lot of different moves very well and like to stay alive. So I did decide to go ahead and just stick with my plan though, and start off with my Turtonator, see who he wants to lead with. So we see he leads Politoed. So that's just instantly a pretty bad situation for me because my Fire Blast is weakened. Solar Beam was weakened in Rain, which I think is kind of silly because, like, it already has to take a turn to charge. Why do you gotta weaken it? Rain, as a guy who's ran Rain before, is already so good. It doesn't need that help. But this wasn't a great thing to stay in on anyway because he could Toxic me. He could just start clicking Scald or Hydro Pump and doing a lot. Not a great special defense on Turt Warner, so I did just decide to go ahead and switch from the get-go. into Bronzong in case he did try to Toxic. Plus, I wasn't worried about getting burnt. I see Perish Song, so he's Perish trapping me. Luckily, we don't see a Whirlpool yet, so first turn of Perish Song, I can just go ahead and Toxic this, which I think is nice. If he's not a rest set, it'll stay toxic, but we'll just have to see. I can go ahead and get up rocks, gonna Perish in one turn, and I almost actually just let Bronzong die here, because I just, nerves in the game, I blinked that he hadn't clicked Whirlpool yet. And so I was like, dang, well, I'm stuck here with Perish Trap, Politoed, so I'm starting to calc, like, I guess, do I do Future Sight? If I die, does that not hit? So should I just charge? I'm thinking of all this stuff. Should I just Toxic in case he switches? Then I'm like, hold up a second. I'm not trapped. He didn't click Whirlpool. He kept clicking Perish Song, I guess, just to see if I was doubling. So yeah, I just decided to go ahead and switch because I can, which is kind of funny. So I go Stormbreaker on his Politoed. He brings in his Amoonguss, that stupid thick thing. So I click Volt Switch, and kind of a cool thing, he's running eject button, so he gets hit and he switches out, which was interesting. That means I wasn't able to pivot out, but then he just brings in Zapdos, so I think I just Volt Switch again. Yeah, and we see it doesn't do the hugest amount. I go into Ursula Major pretty predictably, so he's able to get back into Politoed. But now, I can just hit it with a Thunder and kill it. So, and that's pretty cool, because now, now his rain turns are limited. So I was a little bit surprised by that. But now, a lot of times when I kill something with Nihilego, he can just instantly bring in Barraskewda and scare it out, which is what he's able to do here. And because of Flip Turn, he doesn't have to commit to staying in, so he can get some momentum still. Still doing some really good damage on Aretha, making me think there's a good chance it's banded. So I go Nihilego once again, take the Hurricane, great special defense, and I get another kill. So I'm feeling okay right now, but at the same time, like, he still just gets to keep switching in Barraskewda. At least it's taking rocks damage. I can go Eldegoss again on the Aqua Jet, and do I do what I think I do? Am I smart and click Sunny Day? I am. I click Sunny Day, thinking like, I got him now. When in all reality, he can just switch. So I should have probably just Leech Seeded here, knowing he'd switch, but I click Weather Ball and kind of show that off. Doesn't do anything to his Tornadus, who's going to be able to get all that back with Recovery. We see the Taunt, which is really smart by him as he defogs. And now I start Charge Beaming. First one, I get that special attack boost. Let's go. Do I just click Future Sight right away? Part of me was wishing I had like Psychic or Psyshock, so that I could hit things right away, but Future Sight is kind of nice for forcing switches. So we just go Eldegoss expecting a Spore, which we catch. This time we do Leech Seed expecting him to switch, and we see Future Sight's not doing a whole lot, because since I think the damage is based on what Bronzong's stat is, so that special attack boost that it got was not factored in since Bronzong switched. Its special attack was down to normal, so that's how Future Sight works. So we're just making a lot of doubles here, and here I decide, I don't know, I felt like since I can hit with a fire move, maybe he'll switch here. So let's just be big and go for it. And Lumberry actually would have been cool, but he actually just Toxics us, which makes me think he probably thought I was just going to double back into Aretha like I had been on the Spores. So we're able to get up a Shell Smash here, and that means things are looking good. I'm not necessarily expecting him to stay in, but I'm going to click Fire Blast just because this thing is so scary. So we click Fire Blast, and we miss. I'm wishing I had Flamethrower. And 85% move, that's what I get for running an inaccurate move. And it sounds like really silly of me to say when I still have every Mon alive, like, and decently high on most of them. But now that he knows, like, and he's not gonna, he took that risk that one time just to see what I'd do. Now that's not gonna happen again. I'm gonna have a very tough time killing this Amoonguss since that missed, which I'm pretty sure that would have killed. Like, I feel like by any calc I had it died, but I could be wrong on that. But so we are able to start doing some good damage. That is a stab. Fire Blast that we take off the foul play. We Dragon Pulse there, knowing that'll kill, and then we die. And here we take the Fake Out, which is some pretty nice tech. He had a cool set on this. Surprise, surprise. Protect, maybe just to get a read on things. I was actually curious what the protect was for. Probably just that, just to see if he wanted to switch. I see future sights now. That's going to do nothing to all days long. So I think I just go ahead and get my rocks up here. Obviously not wanting to take a spore, but I do take that future sight, and I think now he doesn't switch this time and I get toxic, which is a bummer, and it's a really good play by him to stay in, because really, what am I going to do? Set up Sun, yeah, and then on his switch. So Nihil goes Who Falls Asleep, and I guess that's okay. I'm not really sure who would have been great to fall asleep here, and I probably should have from here thought, now let's preserve Nihilego so that he can't sleep anything else. Spoiler alert, obviously me saying that in hindsight means I probably didn't do a very good job of that. Take some damage with All Day Zong, start throwing off future sights. I go Ursula Major, and now I'm just going to start trying to wake up. I think I just start clicking Power Gem. Would be my guess. We do get the crit on the future sight. I don't know if that mattered. I'm guessing it did because Gothorita is probably holding Eviolite, and it's probably super bulky. But as you can tell in the moment, I wasn't feeling too bad about a crit. I was like, hey, I would love to have that crit back if my Fire Blast could have hit. So now the threat comes in, and I'm kind of annoyed that I just let that die. Maybe I thought, well, what use is it now? But like, dude, keep it alive so that you have something to sleep. Probably should have just went Gyarados here. Or even, could have went Aretha, though he had the Ice Fang ready for me. So, but obviously he's not wanting to take a Volt Switch. So he's going to pivot out. We get that crit is actually probably a little more annoying than the other one, honestly. So I click Hurricane and we do hit it. I'm guessing he probably wasn't expecting that. 55%, that's good damage. So now I just have to get in a situation. If I would have kept Nihilego alive, it would have been asleep and he couldn't have spored here. Now we're asleep, so now we have to play with annoying sleep turns and whatnot. So I was annoyed at myself for that. Now he's probably going to defog. No, I would have expected him to defog, but he goes Amoonguss on the Charge Beam. Now he's smart. He just knows like his win con is to keep pivoting, and realize that luckily it's going to be extremely hard for me to break these two down, as I do get a Toxic off, which is kind of nice. Take a Hurricane, and getting up rocks is just going to force him to keep. First off, he's getting chipped on Barraskewda, and I always keep wanting to call it Shiinotic, and Mungus, sorry. But also, it causes him to taunt for a turn and let me do something like Charge Beam. So, a lot of switching from here, not really a whole lot of commentary. Here's where the game actually gets really long, and we're just over and over trying to predict each other. And I'm like, basically my win con is getting Gyarados to hit 2 Hurricanes without falling asleep. I don't know. Especially now that I'm putting up Sun, that makes Hurricane less accurate, and Thunder, I believe. So it's just going to be tough. Long game. I'm really not a whole lot to... You kind of just watch from here as what we do back and forth. He taunts. Tornadus T is such a good mon, man. I bet he's having a blast with it this season. But man, I do not like this regen core with Rain. It's scary. So we got up to +2 here, so I remember thinking like, hey, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should have just kept clicking Charge Beam. I don't know. Oh, I did. I missed. Okay. 90% Charge Beam. Are you kidding me? Stupid Zong. Man. And so since I switched, this future sight's not doing much because I don't have that special attack boost anymore. Get taunted, good move, can't Leech Seed, doing nothing. And then we just see how good Regenerator is back and forth. So I finally bring Danger Kite back in. I guess I'm just going to start trying to wake up as we take some flip turn damage, which I'm not a huge fan of. Probably should have just went back to Aretha. Where's he going? Mungus. We wake up. So we went Thunder. Interesting. Okay, not a bad play. We do hit a Hurricane. Once again, we see that doing over 50%. We see the confusion, and it hits itself. So now I just got to hit. Now I'm just worrying about hitting moves. I hit another one of these. I'm guessing, do I switch here? Yeah. Just a lot of mind games here. Which, to be fair, I feel like I played okay during this stretch of mind games. But really, that's just not... Prizzley's not a battler I want to get stuck in mind games with, because I trust his mind more than mine. So, like I said, I was doing everything I could. But I had this feeling like I didn't feel great about coming down with this one. Now, missing that Hurricane could have put him very low. That's what I get for running Hurricane. But really, like, on Gyarados, what am I supposed to run? Bounce. But I would have run Hurricane anyway because of rain. So that's may have been even smart on his part to let rain go down early, because then I couldn't take it. I was clearly looking to take advantage of it with some powerful, inaccurate moves. So, as you can see, at one point I had 6 Mons to what his 4, and now he's evened the odds. And he's got 2 Regenerator Mons, so it's not looking great, but I'm not a guy who gives up. So I just kept playing. Man, 73 turns, I didn't remember it actually being this long. This is a wild one, man. I'm trying to remember at what point he really breaks me. Ice Fang does a lot. There was a part of me that was like almost kind of just tempted to be like, maybe I should just let him kill me. But then once again, don't give up if you have any chance at all. Maybe you always got to bank on the fact that no matter how good or smart your opponent is, there's a chance they can make a misplay. So you just keep clicking the right button, and maybe you'll get lucky at some point. So that's what I just say to anyone thinking about ever like giving up in the middle of a game. Like, why do that? Unless it is like just one of those stalling matches where you guys know where it's going, sure. But I don't know. Respect your opponent enough to keep playing. Even if you feel like you know they're going to win, like, keep playing. Let them have the... Because it's a great feeling when you play a long game and get that win. I don't know. Some people might prefer, like, if you know you're going to lose, to quit playing against that, save them some time. But, like, me as a competitive guy, I know I would appreciate the other side playing through and saying, I'm going to try through the get-go, going to make you earn it, and then when you get that win, it's going to feel that much better. So we do see the Kevia Berry. I know a lot of things on his team get poison moves. I think Barraskewda gets Poison Jab, but I wasn't sure. But like, I knew other things like this, and Seismitoad for sure got poison moves, so I liked the idea of running Kevia Berry. Though I did consider the Flying Berry. Considered a lot of berries. He's got good coverage on his Mons. So I do think from here, flip turn, did a lot. So, and I actually kind of hate what happens here at the end. Basically, I end up showing off the Custat Berry, which is not a big deal. Like, a lot of times we'll end up posting our pastes to the page anyway. But like, I don't know. I just felt like there was, no point. You hear my cats hissing at each other. Hopefully not. Yeah, but here trying to wake up, we see me bust the Custat Berry, which not like I probably would have used this. Hey, stop. But anyway, yeah. A few people were like, Custat Berry, what? On a Zeraora? So I thought that was cool, though. Could have been fun. Man, that Fire Blast miss stunk. But a lot of games have, for me this season, have had pretty big hacks. So that's just how it goes. I am curious to see how that would have went. Assuming I would have killed, which once again, I'm pretty sure I was calcing for a max special defense Among Us. So I think a Fire Blast was killing there. If that were out of the way, I feel pretty good about my chances of winning. Though then again, when you still get facing a Tornadus or Barraskewda, and the Gothorita may have had different opportunities to do some sort of Cosmic Power setup shenanigans. I don't remember what the set was. So it wasn't a for sure win, but it was really frustrating. Like, you always know in long games, 92 turns, there's going to be lots of hacks. But, like, of all of them, I'm like, please just hit this Focus Blast and can we be fine? So yeah, that's just how the game goes, though. Anyway, fun game, great win, Prizzley. Look forward to seeing how you do. Obviously, expecting you to make the playoffs and to have a good run. I can't say I hope we meet in the playoffs again, just because like no one wants to face Rand twice if they don't have to, right? But if we do, I'll look forward to a rematch. And not to say I don't think playoffs are even really. I shouldn't even act like they're a lock. I can try to pull up Draft League NL real quick, not Reddit. What? And just look at the rankings. That does put me down to 7-2, and I say that right now the site. Let me move this. The site does have. Make my face small, per usual. There we go. The site does. Whoop, too small. There we go. Bendlin, we know your record. We're going to cover that up a little, but I don't want to cover up your team. So anyway, the site does have me ahead of Cooper still, which is weird because we have the same record in differential and he beat me. So obviously that would get worked out. And if this happened at the end of the year, he'd win the division because he has the head-to-head match. But yeah, this is what the league is looking like. Surprise, surprise, Henrik's still undefeated. A few wins and losses have happened since then, and one pretty big upset that I won't spoil just yet, but so that haven't been plugged in quite yet. But this is what you're seeing with the playoff race, and that's a crazy close playoff race. Lots of people still in it. In fact, you know what? I will spoil. Pereira, the Winnipeg Weaviles, got a big win over Ball in the California Clobopus. And I do want to spoil that just because that puts him up at 3-6. So I think that means he's probably still in the playoff race. I know everyone 4 wins and above has got to still be in it to some extent, but I would think a 3-win team might too. So anyway, a lot of teams still in the race. This is what you got here. 2 weeks left. I did forget last week. That's an 11-week season. So my opponent this week is Magnus, the San Francisco Garchomp, and then my last opponent will be Bendelin and the Anaheim Sidex. Both division matches, both very big. So we're going to hope to bounce back. We've dropped 2 of 3. 7-2 looks good. Dropping 2 of 3 does not look good. So hopefully we'll be able to pull off a big win over Magnus, though his team's super scary and he's a great battler. So we'll just have to see. But guys, I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to hop on out of here. Get hyped for the NPDL playoffs. They are coming soon, and it's going to be a wild finish. But I'm going to hop on out of here. Have yourself a great night. Peace.